Okay, here's another League of Legends game coming your way, this time with Volibear in the jungle. And of all things, we're up against Hecarim. So he's probably doing the Nimbus Cloak celerity thing I was talking about in my, well, is it 3 or 4 videos ago? Something along those lines. So Volibear is one of the few that actually uses the machete decently, and I do mean few. Due to the attack speed steroid on your W, you actually get a lot more out of the bonus damage than you would by taking the Talisman. Talisman's advantage, though, would be whenever you use your E, it does a little bit of bonus damage, but it's just so much of Volibear's stuff is single target. The machete does edge it out ever so slightly. But for most of the other characters, then yeah, Talisman is the way to go. As for what all I'm running, Aftershock, Demolish, Conditioning, Overgrowth, Alacrity, Coup de Grace. So I'm going to be aiming for a lot of hit points, and then I'm going to use those hit points to demolish towers. Now, I've said a lot of things about the tank jungler sucking. Volibear might be the one exception because of his passive and the way his W works. He should be able to duel early. I'm hoping it's enough for him to actually be able to take the Scuttle Crab. But just remember, you can only take the Scuttle Crab if your team gives you a leash, because otherwise, even with your passive, you're not going to have any hit points to actually do stuff. So while Severe sits there and guards the tower to make sure no one steals it, as does Ekko, we are lucky the enemy team did not choose to invade right here and now, because it doesn't get freer than this, I'll put it that way. Sadly, Volibear has no good skins, so yeah, I'm not getting any of his. So I'm biting here just because it goes on a half cooldown. One, two. So a little bit more would have been nice, but I'll be fine. Once again, biting this now because it'll come off cooldown in time. And I'm probably going to lose my passive here in a sec. The W does about 100 damage if you can hold on to it. Now keep in mind the pony can interrupt this. It wouldn't be very hard for him to do so either. Now the nice thing about being here is this is a lot of healing. Most likely, I suspect he probably did something along the lines of what I did in my video. Red 2 chickens to the top one. Wow. Well, that's a kick in the teeth. So I want to get over here and claim that crab. But I don't want to... Didn't really want to go this way.
Trust your instincts.
So I was really concerned he was going to get away there. I don't know if he flashed from Jax or not, but had to fling him back into the blast cone, detonate the blast cone, and knock him into Ekko, and yeah. That was a lot more convoluted than I would have liked, but it works. So that could have been the red buff right there. That could have screwed over Vlad. So the bad news here is I do not have a lot of mana. I basically have enough for one combo. And hopefully that's enough to give Jax the edge there. Let's grab this, grab this, grab this. So I'm not sure if I said it, but I'm going to be leaving the Rift once the Bilgewater event is over. I have to win 2 PvP games for the final part, and I still have to win a game with or against Pike, I think the condition is. Not sure. So anyway, right here, I do not have mana regen, so I have to be very selective with how I use my spells here, otherwise I'll just run myself empty. And of course it's the top crab that's spawning. So every time I put a point in W, the attack speed buff grows. Ooh, too slow. It's also not too helpful that the most expensive spell in Volibear's set is his E.
An ally has been slain.
The thunder calls.
So I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but as long as they're not calling each other names and stuff, we can probably salvage stuff.
Tremble at my roar.
So yeah, that's the downside to your bot lane losing like that. Instant dragon. Even if Ekko and I were there, we would have not been able to turn that around. Like, what's really confusing is, I don't know if it was a tower dive that went bad because they don't have level 6 yet.
Battle is in my blood.
Timing on that was a little too convenient for me to just chalk that up as a coincidence. So yeah, I can't help Jax here. If I go in, Volibear will, or not Volibear, Renekton will just kill me. He may outright kill Jax if he does that.
Has been slain.
So the game has started to slip away from us.
Let the storm follow in my wake.
So I'm concerned about Morgana going back already.
Killing spree.
Not fitting cowards.
And that's why I was concerned about Morgana going back, so bot's fucked. Yeah, I just burned my shit. You're out of luck, Morg.
My blood.
Volibear needs a new ult, damn it. She can be dead right there. Bot is so fucked. So, I hate to say it because I know a lot of people get really upset when I do this. Severe needs to sit right here until Morg is up, because if they keep going in one at a time, they actually are more valuable to us just turning their computer off and going outside, going for a walk or whatever. This bot lane differential is insane.
As fate decrees. To war. So it shall be.
I don't know.
An enemy has been slain.
I don't know if this can be salvaged, how to salvage it. We're just hemorrhaging way too much out of the bot lane, like Ashe has her Reaver already.
And wisdom guide me.
Like, our best bet may be to try to get Ekko snowballing.
Nibbling cubs.
Sad part is they're gonna go whining and chatting any second now. Why don't you come to bail us out yet? Now I have a little bit of CDR. Let's see if I go Visage into Warmogs. Actually, it doesn't really matter. I mean, AD, AP is evenly split between the two.
Strength and wisdom guide me.
It's entirely possible there isn't anything I could build to salvage this.
As fate decrees.
You stupid motherfuckers.
Enemy rampage.
Trust your instinct. I do not pity.
Ally has been slain.
Your side not
Your turret has been destroyed.
battle is in my blood. thunder calls.
Okay, from here is going to be post-game commentary because I kind of need to focus and those dogs would not shut up in the background. So right here I want to fling Hecarim back while keeping him in the tormented soil. Managed to deal some damage to him. I hit him with red buff, I did not red smite him. I think Morg ignited him or something, so we did get the kill. Right here we're waiting for Xerath to pop up down the river. And that is an Infernal Dragon, which we kind of have our eyes on. But right here is a testament to how strong Xerath is relative to everything else. So I have to flash to reach him. So that was just his QW. Well, it was actually fired in the other order, WQ. And that killed Morgana from 3/4 of her health. So we'll be going for a Spirit Visage next to deal with him, but this is still one major obstacle for me to overcome, just because they're, like, the damage from the bot lane is insane. They are really, really fed. And as much as I hate to say it, the enemy bot lane, I believe, are silver ranked players, and mine are actually plat players. I believe Severe actually is an 80 carry main. Right there I used the W smite combo to secure that. There are quite a few junglers in the game where you have a sudden burst of damage that you can try to time your smite to secure objectives. For Volibear, it's his W and the smite. For Elise, it's his Q2 smite. For Vi, it's her third hit of the W and smite. And there's more than that. You can time that with Nocturne's passive, amplified by his Q. Not so much anything for Skarner, but just know that there are quite a few junglers that have that option to do something extra to cause more burst than normal. The thing is, as far as I know, only the Volibear and Lee Sin ones are actual executes. The other ones are just extra bursts of damage that are out of the ordinary. So right there, the bot tower goes down. We lose AD carry, but we take their support. And the good news is we got an assist off of that. They did not, so we actually have the gold advantage there. So right here I'm waiting for the Scuttle Crab, because I really do need as much gold as I can get to stay relevant here. At this stage of the game, Ekko is the only player I can rely on. The Jax is a decent player, don't get me wrong, it's just he had a rough laning phase and he's weaker than he should be for this stage of the game. Like, right around now is when he wants to finish his first item, which will be the Trinity Force. In this case, some Jaxes go Gunblade, if you didn't know. So right there we killed Hecarim, but we lost Morg. Using Demolish to pick this off. I'll talk about Demolish in a little bit, how it's indirectly been buffed. But anyway, going back to Jax, he has his Trinity Force right now. It's just Renekton's just that much further ahead of him. So right there you can see he took a really bad trade. He's in a bad spot overall. Slice and Dice has been burned. He does not get the dice. So right here I want to use my E to slow him, knock him back a little bit. I fling him so that he can't... Well, I wait for him to get to the other side of me, and then I fling him back into my minions towards my allies. And we secure the kill. We give that to Jax, and that's going to alleviate some of the delay in his power spikes. So right here, while Demolish is ready, we don't need it. And right here I want to go do some counter jungling, but Hecarim will be in the jungle waiting, so not as effective as I'd like. Anyway, thing I need to talk about. Number 1, build. You can see I'm going for a Spirit Visage because I'm a little bit more concerned about the magic threat than the AD threat. So once I have the Spirit Visage, next I'll get Dead Man's Plate. After that is Warmogs, and that's going to be my trifecta of items to salvage this. I grabbed the wrong final item. When we get to that stage of the game, I'll actually tell you what it is that I should have gotten, and I'll explain what I was thinking at the time. It's a hindsight type of thing that I was trying to figure out, did I make the right call after the game was done? And based on what I know now, the answer is no. There was actually a better choice that I could have made, just with the information I didn't entirely have available at the time. So anyway, we lose 2, we give a kill over to Severe, so it's bad, I'm not gonna lie. So right here, Jax is kind of deterring them while I take the blue buff. Ekko could use this, it's just, he's not really having mana problems, and I do need the CDR more than anything. I only have the 10% from the Spirit Visage, I have 10% from blue right now. I will get 10% from Warmogs, and I believe that's it. So, the items I look for near the end would give me the final 20%. So next thing to talk about is Demolish. So all of the items I'm building, the ones that I told you about, all give me health. Spirit Visage gives you 400, 500, I don't remember offhand what it is. Dead Man's gives you like 500. And then Warmong's I think is a 800 to 1,000. Sadly, they changed the items so much I can't remember the exact values. On account of being here since Season 2, I still even remember the Force of Nature and kind of wish that was still in the game, but it's not. In case you actually don't know what that item is and you want to know, imagine you had the healing of the Warmogs, plus the MR of the Spirit Visage, plus the movement speed of the Dead Man's Plate all in one item. And hopefully you can understand why they took that sucker out. The good old days. Anyway, going back to Demolish. So all of those give me health. The Cinderhulk amplifies the health I get. I'm running Overgrowth, which gives me even more health. And in turn, this will cause my Demolish procs to be that much bigger. So the reason why this is significant, in the newest patch, here we have a bad fight. So right here I want to kill Vladimir so we at least get something out of it. I proc my ult, I eat a Zerath stun, I have to flash to kill him, and right here you'll see that I can actually outrun Ekko. So he doesn't actually chase here, but without his Predator he really has no way to catch me, and it's only going to get worse as the game goes on, because keep in mind I do not have Deadman's yet or Tier 2 boots, while he does have Tappy. But anyway, going back to the whole HP thing. So, stacking HP on Volibear is good. Severe's just way out of position. She's going to die. I'd just like to emphasize that is a Platinum player in solo queue. Anyway, hit point stuff. So Volibear's W scales off his hit points. That in turn gives me a better execute, stuff like that. And then for Demolish. In the newest patch, towers, the inner towers, so Nexus and Inhibitor, those were nerfed. They have less HP, but they heal more. So as a result, that was an indirect buff to Demolish. With the Bone Plating nerf in the previous patch, like, I rarely run Bone Plating anymore, unless I know I'm in a lane or something where I'm going to take a lot of harass. It's just a lot more valuable to take Demolish. So Jax did die. Sadly, the dice does get Renekton to safety. I loop around, Morg is coming from the flank, he wants to blast come to safety, but he eats a Dark Binding. So right here I'm going to use my E to knock him back a little bit and buy us like a split second longer, which is exactly what Morg needed to secure the kill. And Morg getting that is not really a bad thing, because as a full tank Volibear, I don't really need kills. I will end up getting them because of the way the W works, but I am just looking to become basically a meat shield. Their two strong characters rely on skill shots that do not pierce characters other than the Zerath Q. So if I'm able to just sit there and body block what they throw, that allows my team to pick them off. So my peak ward goes down, they replace one from Morg. Severe got that if you didn't follow the little green lines of health. So with the Speed Shrine, we now have priority here. If they want to pick a fight, they are going to get run down. So while Zerath is poking me, yes, I have the Spirit Visage to cut into his damage now, plus the Visage will heal me, so his poke is not really an issue at the moment. But anyway, that is the math behind Demolish. So much of Volibear scales off of health, just his general tankiness, the W damage, his passive. I'm trying to stack as much as I can to get the most out of stacking health. So right here I'm positioning to keep the dragon between me and Zerath, that way only his Q and his W can hit. And I want to move in such a way that if he shoots at me, like he does right here with his W, he's also going to hit the dragon. So watch, the dragon's going to survive with one hit point. It had 761 when I smited it. The good news is I was already in the middle of an auto attack animation, so I still secured it. Not really a big deal. Plus Zerath burnt his crap already. So right here we do lose Jax, we pick up Vladimir, and then Ekko and I just beat the crap out of Renekton. Sadly he got far enough away to where my roar doesn't work, but I'm going to fling him back, Ekko's going to use his E, and right there we have a new pair of gator skin boots. So based on the praises I was singing about Demolish, you can kind of guess what's about to happen here. So this is one of the close scrapes of the game. So I want to proc Demolish, but Ashe is shooting me. Right there I needed the black shield to nullify the slow, and if you look I squeak out with double-digit health. Now I knew that crystal arrow was coming, I was waiting for it. As soon as I saw it I was able to move out of the way. We're not having a repeat of the Mal's Lux incident. And with that I'm able to recall, I have some money to spend, I can grab tier 2 boots as well as the component of a Warmogs. So the one I want is the Kindle Gem. There are three components of the Warmogs, and I'll explain each one and how important it is. The Giant's Belt is just the sheer HP component that would affect my W, my passive, my Cinderhulk, and so on, and Demolish by extension. The thing is, I need more than just pure HP at the moment because we're trying to climb back into this game. We're still very much at a disadvantage. Our bot lane is... You've seen the bot lane, I don't have to say it. So I want stuff that gives me additional effects. As such, the Giant Spell is going to be the component I don't buy until I get the whole or the whole Warmog itself. So Kindle Gem, this is your health and CDR component. As I mentioned, I want my spells up more often. As such, that's why the Kindle Gem is the desirable option here. And for the Bracer, that gives you hit points plus regen. Since I had the Spirit Visage and my passive, I'm not too eager about regen. I have to clear that ward out. He sees me there. So the regen isn't really necessary at the moment. I will get that component next just because it's cheap and stuff, but the Kindle Gem is the single most important one I can have right now. So right here I'm going to bait Vlad in. So right here I want to create some distance while I wait for his Q to expire. Once it does, here comes the Predator. And with that out of the way, the enemy team has actually lost their initiation. The only thing they actually have is the Ash Crystal Arrow. And right now it's going to be extremely difficult for Hecarim to get in now, because whenever he does, I'll try to roar him out of the way, and it, like, depending on how the CC is layered, it will kill him. Thing is, Jax does get caught out. And watch this. I do not think they expected this demolish damage. So they're up here forward, and they realize, holy crap, 80% of the tower's remaining health went away in just one instant. They realized they can't really afford to sit there because they knew they were going to get mauled by an angry bear if they did. So right here I want to get some counter jungling done. If you notice, we have Severe right there. Overall, there's a case to be made for me taking the red buff because I can try to kite Ashe, or hold her down and stuff like that, Ashe and Vlad. So right here I'm giving Severe the Blast Cone. I do not need this because I have Wind Dragon, I have Swifties, I have Dead Man's Plate. I can outrun Hecarim without his Predator. So what I do want right here is the Scuttle Crab. Unfortunately, there's going to be a volley that interrupts the recall. Severe is going to take one shot here that hit the crab for about 600 damage. So on one hand, it sucks that I didn't get the 140 gold. In the end, it doesn't matter because I wanted the Bracer more than the Giant's Belt. It's just, the good news, the silver lining in all this is Severe is actually starting to get some power. She is no longer just a flat liability to the team. So right there I'm admiring the demolish damage. If you're doing the mission stuff and you're trying to figure out how do I deal a lot of damage to objectives, the dragons, the Baron, the Herald, the towers, my recommendation is play a tanky jungler with demolish. That way you can use the demolish procs to clear out towers, you can fight dragon, Baron, and so on, and actually deal significant amounts of damage to them to matter. The two best candidates for this that I could recommend to you are going to be Skarner, because he's really, really good at dueling. Here we're going to have a fight. Watch this one. So Ashe literally walks up to me, and three of them are wailing on me, and I pretty much forced them to burn all of their summoners. And then when it was all said and done, I just pushed Q and run away. We did lose Morg, yes, but we are now set up to win the next fight extremely hard. Except Jax is still in a very rough spot.
Your side does not know fear.
So I'm moving in to try to flank the Xerath. And right here I want to secure Ekko's escape. I can emphasize enough he's the only guy I trust right now. So with him safe, I need to go pick up Vlad. I'm trying to force Hecarim out. Sadly, I tanked the tower for 2 shots too many. But I still want to proc Demolish here. And this is the tower where it matters. So that 1000 damage, it's kind of painful. And right there we did enough damage now to where it's not going to regenerate. It only goes up to the 3rd point, so 1100, 22, or 33. And sadly, after catching that Crystal Arrow, I don't have my passive here, so this is my only death. So right here, Severe should have pieced out, but she hangs around way too long. You can see on the minimap that the enemy team is collapsing on her. And sad part is there's nothing for any of us to do. Pretty much when I died, that should have been her clue, get the hell out of there, but she waited. So she dies. Okay, so I was talking about the objective damage. So Skarner is really good at just damage in general because you can build Sheen on him. He gets a lot of attack speed from his spires. You can do a number on the dragons. And then as you stack HP, if you play him like I do, which is like a tanky bruiser duelist type thing, you can still get a nice amount of HP and still actually rack up the tower damage. So right there I did type in there that Morgana is faster than Renekton. All she had to do was just keep running and the Wind Dragon we have would push her to safety. So if you notice I pushed my Q here, I'm trying to get here as fast as I can, but I'm not going to make it in time. So as a result they get a Wind Dragon so that they get more mobility, and the only thing I can do is punish them severely. So flip Renekton in, as soon as the enemy team returns, I proc my ult. Renekton goes down first. My passive is up, so I'm just going to sit here and trade with them. They do not have a way to inflict Grievous Wounds, so this is not going to go their way. We force the Vlad pull, we force the Vlad Zonias, we force the Vlad ult. Ekko kills Hecarim, Vlad kills Ekko, I kill Vlad. And in the end, 4 of them died. You can see Xerath is getting run down right now on the minimap. So they got the dragon, yes, but we just aced them. And we're free to go ahead and pressure the inhibitors afterwards. So this is a really bad trade on their part, and I think they just underestimated how well I can initiate. So basically, I just have to push Q, right-click, and there you go. Hardcore Volibear Mechanics 101. So right here with Jax's help, we can go ahead and take this. Demolish doesn't do as much damage because there were no minions to reduce the tower defense, but it was still enough. So right here we lay into this with our attack speed steroids, my W passive, his passive. The thing is, as soon as Ashe shows up, we need to peace out like I did. So I'm going to loop around so Jax can leap strike to me. He chooses to go on Ashe instead, which is a fatal mistake. And since there's nothing I can do for him, I just take off. If you look, the red buff is coming up. I don't know if they can actually see me over here. So right here I want to fling this into the brush with my Q, that way they can't tell if I'm still here or what. And with that, I have more than enough money to get the Warlocks. So right there, Vlad dies to Severe, but Severe dies to Xerath. They get assists, we don't, so that's a gold swing in their favor. Ashe ends up going down to Ekko. Ekko's walking to safety, but Morg is completely caught out. So overall, like the last 2 kills, the Morg and the Ashe were neutral. They didn't really affect anything. They cancel each other out. So they still come out ahead because they killed Severe, and we only got 1 kill on Vlad, no assists. So anyway, I have Warmogs now, so I'm a lot harder to kill. Basically, the way fights are going to work out is I get low, I duck out 5 or 6 seconds while I wait for Warmogs to build up, channel, charge, whatever you want to call it. Wait a couple seconds for healing to take place, and then I'm ready for round 2, which you'll see in a moment. So I'm trying to move in place for Renekton, but they're saying, well, you want to do Baron instead. You just got the speed shrine, we have the advantage here, let's do it. Problem is, Ekko and I can't really clear this fast. So Ekko is a burst mage. He is not meant for sustained damage. Meanwhile, I'm full tank here, so I don't really deal a lot of damage in general. I mean, it's probably my Cinderhulk that's doing more damage than anything to it. And we kind of needed Jax over here to take this a little bit more quickly, but he's out trying to zone. Generally with AP characters, they're off trying to do the zone thing while it's sustained damage is in here with the freaking Baron. So I proc my ult here because I'm thinking if they come in on me, I can hit them with splash damage. I flash into the Hecarim ult, and right here I'm just absorbing all of Ashe's punishment. My passive goes off, I can sit here and just sustain through everything. I end up taking his Vlad ults. I think I got shot by one of the Xerath ults. So I have to wait for the Vlad ult to expire. That resets the 6-second timer. We're at 2, 1, and here we go. Look at my health go. So right here, Vlad is moving up. I'm ready for round 2, but I want to secure Severe's escape. I'm also looking to see if anyone else is out of position, but the only one who is Vlad. So, only thing to do is go say hi. And if you notice, I'm at full health now. So Severe took red. She's ready to get some blood here. Vlad wasted his Q. He would have got more health if he used it on me, but I would have just walked away before he could. So to break down that fight, I used my Roar to knock him back. It's also like a little stun of sorts that he can't cast any spells. And then once he was low, I wanted to fling him so that he couldn't use his pool to dodge everything. So right here I grabbed the Glacial Shroud because I'm thinking I can either go Frozen Heart, Frozen Fist, or even Righteous Glory. Any one of those would be good, but the Frozen Heart and Fist would give me 20% CDR. The item I should have gone for is actually Locket of the Iron Solari. No, the reason for that is I can give a massive AoE shield to my allies. You have to remember I have 4,500 hit points right now, and it's only going to go higher as I level and get more overgrowth. I have to clear out this ward real quick. So basically, for Vlad or Hecarim, when they charge into my team, I can just push the button and negate a good portion of their damage. It's like a 500 hit point shield. Right here's the end of the game. Ashe is out of position, she has no flash. I proc my ult, I bite down, and she's toast. So Hecarim barrels in to try to save her, but it's literally all for nothing. He goes down himself, he took some Cinderhulk and thunder damage from my ult. And that's it, folks. So in both games this weekend, I had to make the game-winning play. First one was Elise with the Cocoon, this time it was Volibear with the Rolling Thunder on Ashe. So I wanted to make sure I proc Demolish, that you can see we knock the tower down to half health, just walk away for 6 seconds, get the minions ready. My passive's going off as well, so here's the Warmog's healing, ready for round 2. So right here I roar Renekton out of his Slice and Dice to try to save Spear. It doesn't work because Vlad kills her instead. But that's kind of one of those things I was saying I could do earlier in the game. So right there, while Renekton was dealing a good amount of damage to me, he still could not actually win that fight because I just red smite him and that would be it. So right here I have to roar and put him in his place, dodge the crystal arrow. And you may be saying, we can't take the base, yada yada yada. They actually surrendered right there. So that's the end of the game. So yeah. I'm going to give the honor to Ekko though, because he was the one guy I trusted throughout most of the game. He was the other one who did the heavy lifting here. And you need to look at the graphs, they're pretty bad. So that was actually my promo game. We're now in Gold 4 Flex. La-di-da. A+ ranking, I already have Volibear's box, so not really a big deal. Can't get a Mastery Shard yet. Now in terms of damage, remember, I'm full tank Volibear. I did as much damage as Jax, and comparable to Ekko and Severe. In terms of damage taken, I took almost twice as much as the next member of my team. And yeah, I don't know. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.